Welcome to another trip. You're frightening me a little bit.
I took a gamble actually.
Oh, just broke my zipper. Which is always a good thing to do before you go for a hike. Either way, I'm right. Don't ever look up and question anything I say, alright? I like to be a little bit arty. Feel free to enlighten me. Don't make too much noise tonight, alright? So I've managed to get away. I'm going to have a look at a campground at Barmah Lakes. A little bit of corrugation here. Wonder how wet it's going to be. Barmah Lakes Campground. Cool. Alright, let's have a look. Seems to be a pretty big area anyway. A few picnic tables. Fire pits around the area. Welcome to another trip. So this is Barmah Lake here, but a bit further across to the west, northwest is Moira Lake. But anyway, as you can see, it's quite receded. So it's fairly shallow, very shallow. It's a bit muddy, but not real soft mud. Maybe as I go closer there, you can actually see emu prints. See, I'd like to just camp over there. That'd be pretty good, but you're not allowed to. All the best spots are fenced off. I like to be near the water usually, so just having to drive around to see where I can go. Trying to get an idea of how big this place is. As you can see, where it's not fenced in and there's a lot of trees, it's quite shady. And more fire pits, flat areas, quite a lot of flat spots around. Oh, there's another set of toilets here too. So I think I found my spot. Bit of a flat area with some leaves and stuff. The ground's all right. Trees are fine. It's pretty quiet. Sun's getting onto that spot, so that's good. So before I set up though, I think I'm going to have something to eat. So I got myself set up here at Barmah Lakes, a couple of hours north of Bendigo, probably 3.5 hours maybe north of Melbourne, and this lake flows into the Murray River. Once upon a time looks like you could go that way, but the road's closed due to flooding or something. I don't know how old that is, how old that sign is, but anyway, it's still up and still prohibits you from going that way. So some really nice spots down here, but trouble is, you can't camp down here. That lake is, geez, it's quite down a bit. What do you call a flock of emus? Are they still a flock because they're a bird? You can see those emus? 6 of them. I didn't lose anything by not bringing my fishing rod. I don't know a lot about emus, to be honest. I suppose they've got big claws. They could be a danger, but I don't think they sort of chase you or anything. Maybe they do. I don't know. Oh, they're coming this way. I've just squatted down. I don't know if they're curious or... Oh, he's coming towards me. Hello. Have a look at him. Oh, you're frightening me a little bit. I'm a little bit scared. No, I don't want to go. I'll go backwards. They're funny, aren't they? I mean, they were just going to probably come over because they were curious, but, you know, I don't want to upset them. I don't want them accidentally... I don't know, do something to me. Yeah, it's a nice colour for the evening. It's beautiful, actually. Maybe I can get some better photos of them at some point. Bit of natural wildlife. It's good to see, actually. Sometimes you come to places you really don't see anything. How you going there?
Yeah, good.
Got your fire going already? I haven't got mine started yet. So, have you come from Mount Hotham today?
Yeah, I came down and stayed overnight at Bright.
Oh, down at Bright, yeah.
Yeah, and then I came here.
That's a fair drive, though.
Yeah, I think I'll stay here a day or two, and then I'm gonna go to the Big Desert National Park there.
Big Desert, hang on. Is that the one over near Dimboola? Or is that Little Desert?
No, that's a Little Desert. That's closed.
Because of the fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah. So which one's Big Desert then? Where's that?
It's north of there.
What brought you here?
Oh, I just, I took a gamble, actually. I'm kind of very picky where I was stopped, so.
Yeah.
Just to get out of the city.
Yeah.
The madness. Little Desert, I used to stay at my favorite spot's that Kiata Campground.
Right, I don't know.
Well, it's closed now. But
right, yeah.
There used to be herds of emus, like you'd see 50 of them at a time, and it's half of them would wander through the park.
Yeah.
So
from Adelaide, have you gone much north?
I did once, but I went too early and there was just shitloads of flies. I don't mind this spot.
Yeah, I better not let your fire go out, so
that's all right.
Good chatting with you. And here we've got the toilets. Let's see what sort of condition they're in. Oh, surprisingly, they haven't meshed off the area. Usually they mesh them off. No, not too bad. They should close the lids up. Even got a mirror in this one. Trouble is with these signs, you're not sure how old they are. Wasps as well. Neither of which I've seen. If you can't have grass, you might as well have leaves. Because they look alright. Always something to be wary of. Anyway, time to get the fire started. Just got the kettle going. There's not a breath of wind. Chilling out in the evening with a podcast and shortly going to have a nice cup of coffee. Bit of a foggy morning this morning. It's cleared up a bit now, but still a bit out in the lake. But the emus are still out in the lake, feeding away. It was a very still night. Full moon made it quite bright, which is fine. I kept waking up a bit through the night, but I was pretty warm, toasty and warm, cosy, which is always good. I heard a bit of a noise. I wasn't quite sure what it was. I think I just turned over at the same time I heard it, so I couldn't quite work out what the noise was. So anyway, I came out because I remembered I had a loaf of bread sitting. I thought, oh, it could be possums or something going in and going to ruin all the bread. So I went to pack that away, and I couldn't see anything had moved anywhere. Anyway, I took out my torch and I shined it around a bit, and I couldn't see anything moving around. There's a big old dead gum tree, which looked pretty eerie with the moon above it. But I took a photo of that, but as my torch sort of lit the area up, I saw something in a tree nearby, and it was this beautiful owl. I'm not sure what sort of owl it was. I'll try to look that up when I get home and see if I can get a picture of it. And it didn't fly away the whole time. It just kept watching me, which that's quite beautiful. You can see it's still fairly gloomy, and I think it's... Oh, just broke my zipper. Yeah, it's a bit gloomy. It's only 20 past 10. So there's a little bit of a chill in the air. It's not freezing, but it's a little bit cool. A little bit cool for the hands. Are you a Seinfeld fan? What does this remind you of? Yeah, so I didn't break the zip. It was just a little pulley thing. A little bit of string worn away. Good-o. If you haven't heard me say it before, why I like camping in winter, or at least the colder months anyway, well, there's a few reasons. There's no bugs or insects to bother you, no mosquitoes, no flies. Ants are at a minimum. Bees, feral bees and that, they seem to stay away, and the wasps. You know, there's no worries about restrictions and stuff. You can have a nice fire. It's always good to sit around a fire. Camping in the tent is nice and cosy overnight, for me anyway. I like that sort of coolness, and in the bed it's nice and cosy and warm, whereas in summer it's stinking and you're sweating and it's hard to keep cool. Less people go camping in winter. They don't want to put up with the cold and the wet usually, although I find that often the winters are more drier than the summers. But it's funny sort of weather these days, isn't it? So you take what you can get. I know, you get nice fogs. I like that sort of gloomy look. Maybe it says something about me, I don't know, but less things to worry about, like snakes, for example. You don't really see snakes in the colder times, so it's a bit more safer that way. Oh yeah, another reason I like camping in winter too is that your ice lasts a lot longer. 2 bags of ice in an esky for me, it lasts 3-4 days. Otherwise in summer, if you're going somewhere and you're not close to a shop, whatever, you've got to make sure you got a plug-in fridge or something, or got to keep finding ice somewhere. Nothing like a cup of coffee in the morning to get you going to the toilet, which is always a good thing to do before you go for a hike. You don't want to be caught in the middle of a walk, do you? Yet another reason why I like winter camping, the toilets don't smell as much, even when they look a bit messy. That one needs a bit of a clean. Whew. All right, let's do this walk and see where it takes us. Right, see there's a marker there. So how about I go that way and then see where that goes. For your info, it's only 7.6 degrees Celsius at the moment, and for me, I find that that's a really good temperature to do hiking. You don't overheat or anything, and it's just invigorating. The fresh air just smells so good too. But have a look at it. It's like carpet, isn't it? I took a photo and sent it to my family. They thought it was snow. You might be able to see a bit of a delineation, it's like there's a darker part and then it goes light grey up the tree. And I'm not sure that what that really means, whether that was as a result of the tree sitting in floodwaters in the past. I don't know, but you can definitely see it. It's about 2 metres up the tree. You'll see the darkish bark area. If you look halfway up the tree, your peripheral vision defines that darker even more. That's how I'm seeing it anyway. You see those giant sort of bulbousy bits? That's like, but like an infection, not an infection, but like a parasite that's caused that. Or perhaps it was where a branch was and the branch is broken off and that's like the scab, its healing process. Either way, I'm right, because I'm right about everything I talk about. Don't ever look up and question anything I say, all right? They sometimes cordon off an area. They check like the rehabilitation. Actually, there's a sign over there. I'm going to see what that says. But from my experience, sometimes they check it for rehabilitation, how it's going to come back, or just to see the progress of a undisturbed area. And they do counts on different animals and stuff that might be there. Unfortunately, that sign is not worth anything. So again, you have to take my word for it. They do like surveys on it and stuff like that, and they can check how animals come back and insects. They do, I think they do counts and things like that, because it's like that could represent the broader area of the forest. I like to be a little bit arty. Have a look at the wrinkles on this tree. So after 2.5 k's, looks like I've made it to this Dharnya Centre. There's a bit of info at this centre. Welcome to Yorta country. Talks about the area. Originally I was going to walk up a bit further up there, which I still might do later, but I might end up doing this loop around here to come back to my camp. Flood heights. Yeah, it doesn't look that full today, that's for sure. Hey guys, is that centre actually closed at the moment?
No, it's open.
Oh, how do you get in there?
Just go around the tape. You have to go around the tape.
Oh, I just go around the tape?
Yeah.
Oh, no worries. Rightio. We'll just go around the tape. You make sure you don't go swimming in that, all right? Yorta Interpretive Centre. Looks like there's a few people in here. Wonder how muddy my shoes are. There wasn't a lot to see in there. There was a few little artefacts and stuff, but there was a big group in there that just had a bit of a gathering, and they're going to go on a boat tour on the river So I didn't want to get in their way or anything like that. Plus it was really hot in there. I just couldn't stay in there. I would have had to take all the clothes off. If you're interested in sort of Aboriginal stuff and talks and stuff, that might be a place you want to go and check out. They're building an accommodation thing there too, so this is going to be it's a bit of a project really, that they're building up into something pretty fancy. Let's keep going on this loop. Born into a large and well-known family, Aaron Briggs. I grew up with some Briggses in Shepparton, but reading the rest of it, I don't know what's happened here. Whether someone feels that he's not actually Yorta Yorta, or maybe that's an error and someone scratched it out. Who knows? But someone didn't like that was written there. The Barmah Mustyard site has been used continuously from the 1880s as an essential component of cattle grazing activity by local farmers in river red gum forests along the Murray River. Not anymore though. The last roundup held in 2007. Grazing then ceased with the creation of the Barmah National Park in 2010. Well, there you go. So there's a few interesting signposts here and there along the walk to give you information. Okay, so I didn't know this. Clumps of slightly brighter foliage that you can see hanging from the river red gums are actually mistletoe, a separate semi-parasitic plant that looks remarkably like its host. It grows on the limbs of its host by tapping into nutrient and water supplies through the bark. Mistletoe? I thought mistletoe was something quite different. You know, kissing under the mistletoe. All plants and animals are protected. In the non-protected area here, I can go for it. I can pick plants, grab animals, take them home. You can see that on that tree there, a bit of ring barking. What I did know is ring barking was once used as a forest management technique to kill large unproductive trees, allowing and in fact encouraging regeneration to occur beneath. So there's a bit of a track here. I don't think it's the official walking path. I don't know how I got off it. I was following the signs, the little the information signs. The next minute somehow I wasn't on it. So I've traipsed my way through the forest to come to the Barmah Lakes Day Visitor Area, and I think that's where all these people from the Dharnya Centre have come to, because I think they're going to take a boat ride on the Murray. They operate from here and they're about to head off. There they go, going to explore the Murray. So if you like cruises, that might be just the thing for you. That's the Murray on the other side. And this bit here is the outlet from the lake where I'm camping at. So this is where they join up. Bring your boat down and explore the Murray for yourself. It's not like me to tell a lie, but anyway, what I thought was a little bit of an outlet from the lake is not. That's just a little island in the middle. So what I was talking about is actually just a bit further up ahead, another 200-300 metres up there. Someone's been fishing. If they left them there, I take it that would be carp. You wouldn't leave a Murray cod on the dirt like that. You can see how this would be a lovely spot to camp along the riverbank. When I say the bank, I mean, God, there's like 50 metres. 50 metres from the shoreline is it's fenced off, which is unfortunate. So you can see over there now where the lake spills into the Murray River. Apparently it's a dad with young ones. Apparently mums don't hang around. Mums lay their eggs and then piss off, but the dads look after them. So maybe it was a good idea I didn't get too close, because Dad might have got a bit upset. But they were sort of coming up to me, so it sort of looks like it'd be really squashy, but it actually isn't. I'm not really making much of an imprint. And then when you look at theirs, their imprint, I'm 75 kilos and not really making much of an imprint. God, how heavy are they then? A lot heavier than me. So look at this lake. God, it's practically empty, isn't it? I keep seeing these little things. Pretty sure I know what it is. It's actually poo, and that's all a little like fungus and stuff growing on it. And there's patches of them here and there. And that's how nature works. Taking poo shots. As you can see, there's a lot of grass at the edge of this lake. I can't remember what that grass is called. Willy Wagtail. Oh, look at him. I don't know if that camera's picking it up, but the little Willy Wagtail is just flying right in front of me. Look at it. Oh my God. I've never had one do that to me before. But they usually flit around like that because they're scaring little bugs into the air, and then they grab them. I can't believe he landed on the grass just right next to me. How nice of that Willy Wagtail to perform for me. It actually is a nice spot for birds. You just can't seem to get close to the water's edge, or to what would be the water's edge, because of all that pampas grass. You can see I've walked a kilometre from a campsite, and I haven't been able to get close to the edge for most of the way, apart from that little bit at the start where the emus were. Actually, maybe I will go just a little bit further, because there's some sort of creek or something there. This is as far north as I'm going to go. Not sure what this creek is without looking at some map. Sure, you can look it up yourself if you want. That feeds into the lake. So what I'm going to do is just head east a little bit and then back south towards the camp. See if I come across anything exciting. But that would be your typical cutout for like a shield for fighting, or maybe like a big platter so you can put food on, like a serving dish. Feel free to enlighten me. Plenty of room if it was open, but it is not. It's pretty good phone reception out here, at least with Optus anyway. Yeah, that was not a bad little walk anyway, if you want to go that way towards that little river, creek thing, and then turn back. You can follow the road.
Return to campus to audit one of the proposed houses to assess whether this guy really could be a murderer. About filtering through Harvard over the years, to accept it as fact. This guy has completely agreed with us, as one of his sisters says, and I happen to be there. The billionaire sportsman ordered the LeBron James of the state to go, but the name of Evan Myers could lead to international headlines. Myers has been a huge proponent of radio products, especially a product called Radithor, distilled water.
So Barmah Lake's campground. It's not too bad. Plenty of space, plenty of flat spots, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, you can't camp right up near the lake itself. Good reception with Optus. Can't have dogs here. Some nice little hikes you can do. There's emus in the area. Not a bad spot actually if you just want to get away. If you're interested in Indigenous culture, there's the Dharnya Centre that you can have a look at some information there. The toilets are alright. I gave them a bit of a clean actually with some boiling water. And bring your own firewood, even though there is scraps of firewood here and there that you can probably collect. So you can't really do any fishing here unless you go on the Murray just a little bit south of here, 200-300 metres south of this spot where I am. You can do some fishing. There's probably going to be a frost in the morning tomorrow, so I'm not going to rush to get out of bed or pack up, because everything will still probably be a little bit moist. What you got? Did you find something? Oh, you look a bit dirty. Don't make too much noise tonight, alright? You be a good boy. Well, that's the end of another trip. Thanks for joining me on this one. If you like this sort of stuff, have a look through my playlist of other camps and reviews. I try to get out once a month if I can. We'll see how soon that happens again. See you next time. Thanks for watching.